let's talk about Carlos King and Miss OG of Basketball Wives. Okay, formerly of Basketball Wives. Miss OG got a chance to have a sit down and talk to Carlos, and I thought it was a pretty good interview. I have to say, OG did speak on signing a contract with Basketball Wives originally for 5 years. She was supposed to be on that show for 5 years, but from my understanding, when year three came around, she wasn't really interested in staying longer because they were trying to talk her into staying longer. They were like, hey, we're going to give you a bump, we're going to give you a pay increase or whatever like that. But in order to do that, you got to stay an additional 2 more years, which would make it 7 years. And she was like, who? Not me. I'm not trying to do that, right? Well, I guess after more filming or whatever took place, she ended up being terminated anyway. Okay. So, and I could be having the time frames wrong, but I do know that they offered her 5 years originally. They came back and said, hey, we're going to give you a pay increase. We want you to stay for 7. She says, no, I think I'll be good after my 5 years. I'm fine. Like, why would I even stay around when y'all really don't even like me like that? Right. So after the third year or whatever, that's when she ended up being fired off of the show because according to OG, she just felt like she wouldn't lie for them or go along or try to calm down the masses from the whole racial conversation. But it was blatant, so we didn't even need OG to say anything. OG never had to speak anything, and we were going to drag Basketball Wives accordingly because this is what y'all were showing us. Y'all was trying to produce and put whatever narrative out there, thinking that it was going to be hee-hees and ha-has, and it wasn't. Right? Y'all was okay with letting Evelyn Lozada get away with oh so much stuff because at some point she was a fan fave. Even I loved Evelyn. Right. But after seeing that season and how she treated OG ugly, ugly, because you felt like you're more palatable and quote unquote exotic. You know what I'm saying? On top of being a fan fave, you feel like people would want you more. Like what? I just felt like Evelyn thought that she was definitely better than OG, and I didn't like how she came off. You know what I'm saying? So whatever tactics they were doing over there at Basketball Wives, it was not working. Y'all thought that we was gonna all be dragging OG, and the crazy thing is we was all standing behind OG because nobody else really stood up to Evelyn outside of Miss Tammy Roman. For real, for real. And Tammy got to a place where she just wasn't finna fight with y'all. But Miss OG came in. She was youthful. She had time. She was ready. And we were ready with her for her to go in. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, she also talked about being sued by Evelyn during this interview. She talked about getting a restraining order against Evelyn, which I believe hers could have been granted or something, but Evelyn's wasn't granted. They actually ended up dismissing Evelyn's because she believed that what Evelyn was trying to do was get some type of restraining order so that it can like restrict her from doing any films or anything with OG, therefore making it harder for her on set. But the judge dismissed it. So I'm thinking to myself, if the judge is dismissing this restraining order, I feel like when it comes to this whole lawsuit about her being a racist or whatever, I feel like that's going to be dismissed as well. In all honesty, you feel what I'm saying? And she also tells Carlos about how the lawsuit is still going on today. The lawsuit is still happening today. She did kind of go into detail as to why. She talked about the fact that that it was COVID, right? It was COVID time, so that had a lot to do with it. And then she also kind of touched on the fact that Evelyn ended up switching attorneys like 3 times throughout this process, and then they had a trial date coming up this year, and she even trying to push that further back. You know what I'm saying? So Evelyn got a whole lot of going on, and I really hope OG wins this case, especially because she's a person that is actually in law school, from my understanding, pre-law, in law school, one of the two. So this may just be her arena. So it's not like she just got attorneys and may not understand the process herself. I think that she's thoroughly going to, understand the process, and this may guide her in what direction of law she may want to go into. But even outside of that, I just felt like, Evelyn, you were acting in that manner, in all honesty, while on the show. And I love during this interview how OG highlighted a Spanish politician recently that referred to dark-skinned black children as monkeys. And I said, I remember that. She said, so let's not act like this isn't a thing as much as they like to say they're women of color. Remember when Evelyn Lozada got up there on stage after this situation talking about she Afro-Latina, like that was finna like mean anything or go away or something like no, it's not. So y'all definitely operate in that space of racism for sure. And I'm glad that OG highlighted that politician that referred to the kids as monkeys or whatever. Once that audio was leaked, I believe she lost her position or whatever it was. So it's like, girl, let's not act like it's a thing. And I'm like, yup, pull that in as evidence if you need to use it. All right. But I do have a clip here. You know, I like to let you guys get a little snippet of the audio. So I am going to play that for you guys to check it out. So go ahead and get into this.
We are still in court as of today. As of today.
Girl, that lawsuit is still happening. That's years ago, sis.
It hasn't been settled because what happened was she sued me October of 2019. COVID happened. All of 2020 and beginning of 2021, courts were closed. When we finally had our first court date where we had to appear via Zoom, that person didn't want to appear via Zoom because she alleged she feared for her life. So the judge was not having it. A lot of people were like, what is going on? So we had a continuous. For those who don't know, a continuous is when you push like trial dates. Now come to 2022, our trial date was set for this December. This person, Lozada, has literally changed attorneys 3 times. She had her first attorney who actually used to be Jen's divorce lawyer. I don't know what happened, but that relationship dissolved. Then she asked for a document to be able to represent herself. So then she was now her own attorney. That lasted for a few months. And then that was dissolved. And she just now hired a new attorney and asked for the court date to be moved to June of 2024.
Oh, okay. Wow, OG, this is a lot. So let's unpack this a bit. So this lawsuit is still ongoing because obviously, you know, this person alleged that you made comments that she was racist, said these racist things about you, and allegedly she is saying that she lost deals because of these allegations. Is that the merit of the lawsuit from her point of view, allegedly?
Correct. So she's alleging that by me saying you're a racist on my Twitter, that that caused her to allegedly lose endorsements. And I've already done everything I was supposed to do on my end. I've turned in my discovery. I've turned in most of my evidence, and I still have more. And the funny thing is, you have to have a good reputation to lose that reputation. She never had a good reputation. She lost endorsements because she was pounding her pussy on national TV to millions of viewers. Me, I lost money. I lost endorsements. I've been out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees to have to deal with this mess because she couldn't just say, take my L and move on. She thought that she was going to be able to insult me on national TV and degrade me on national TV, and she was very unsuccessful. In fact, she just made it all reverse on herself. I was not the first person to call her racist. Everybody has amnesia. The first person to call her racist in my first season and also her first season was season 7 when she made those nasty, disgusting comments to Cece. I'm not even going to repeat them. Everybody knows what she called Cece, and that's only what you guys saw. That's not even what you guys saw behind the scenes. What you saw on national TV to multi-million viewers was her calling Cece nasty, racist names. And Cece said in that moment, oh, so you're a racist. So I always pose the question, why didn't you sue Cece? Cece called you a racist. Not that you have any warrant. You have no reason you can sue her. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if you act in a certain way, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck.
Period. If it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, act like a duck, girl, it's so mother duck. Whew, that's what Miss OG said. OG had a lot to say, and I forgot all about Miss CC. I did. Okay. OG said everybody tend to forget. I was one. I forgot. This Miss Evelyn made that comment. So she was yeah, girl, there is proof of your bullyism and racism, girl, going on. So I mean, I hope she don't win the case, but that's just, me. I hope that they go ahead and just throw it out and let that be that, and y'all can part ways while you over here trying to tile people coins because you feel like you got a leg to stand on. You feel what I'm saying? And then I would love to know and would love for her to present to the judge what deals did she really miss out on? What did she really lose? Girl, we would love to know. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, honey, good luck.